Good morning, everybody. Payneblade back here again from Server 1 representing Itachi and Tribes Live. And today, guys, we're going to be doing something different. With this power creep, which is extremely real coming out and is already here, we're going to be covering the units that you guys can still be focusing on. So let's just jump into it. We want to focus on the older units that are still worth leveling, alright? And the first unit I want to talk about is Sasuke Heavy OG. Now, the OG trio are still really good, but these two specifically that I'm going to go through are probably some of the best. Now, the reason why OG Heavy is so good is because his kit is still incredible. And if you're running any content, this man will still be the best unit in the game for you for an old unit, right beside Kakashi. So what he currently does with his Jutsu, as you see here, is boosts his own crit rate, does insane damage, does paralyze, and has a chance to hit Tactical Shinobi for 34.45%. So extremely important. He is the only other unit that has a second stun in the game as a second skill. That makes him meta right away. And then lastly, his Eyes That Have Sworn Vengeance increases his DIR with his LB2 every turn, without anything, just by being alive. So still one of the best units for every piece of content in the game, guys. So Heavy OG, someone you can still focus on if you have him. Now let's see, the other unit we want to talk about is Sasuke Kieran. Now Kieran is the reason why he's one of the best attack support buffs, and he's a pretty decent nuke. Now what he does here is he reduces the damage reduction rate to all opponents by 23.24%, and also the defense he attacks take 34% extra damage, so that makes him fantastic. Now his second skill also reduces damage reduction rate by 12.4% before you have a chance to do your Jutsu, making your other units hit really hard. Now the last thing he does here is he boosts all active allies attack and damage increase rate, which makes him one of the best support units of the game. So guys, minimum 4 stars for him, still viable. Alright, now the next unit we're going to talk about is Kakashi. Now this is one of the best units in the game still, just like OG Heavy. The reason why is because he does a ton of damage with his abilities, and he has a chance to paralyze. And he'll do more damage if you're faster than your opponent and you have more HP than 50%. Now his last move, on the other hand, increases his critical damage rate as long as he does a Jutsu, and every turn increases the critical damage increase rate every time he has a turn, making him hit extremely hard. So still a very viable option, guys. Alright, so we're going to go down here, we're going to talk about Jaraya. So let me just go to Jaraya real quick. Now what makes Jaraya still really special is the fact that he's still one of the best and only tribe gauge units in the game that is a nuke. So definitely get him up to 4 star at least. You can actually take advantage of his tribe increase gauge, which works for almost all content, except for sometimes FG depending on the unit. And also he has the ability to increase his own chakra with his LB2. If you have Sai on the team, you can get him to do a second turn or even sometimes first turn Jutsu, depending where you are with your Sai. Alright, so he also boosts all active allies attack rate, which is always really nice, and if he dies, he actually gives you other buffs as well. So this is another unit. His second skill is not that important, it just deals more damage to D units. Now Deidara is also another unit you want to get to 4. Now his special does lower defense if the opponent has status effects, does a stun, and increases all allies critical rate by 33.65%, which is extremely high. His second skill does lower critical rate suppression, just like his LB2. So you can lower the critical rate chance of them blocking it. You can do more crits. And also his his level 2 boosts all allies critical damage increase rate and the critical suppression rate. So that's his trait. So fantastic unit to still get up. Now the next unit is going to be Sagemo Jaraya. Now the reason why he's so good is because he has a stun, he has a burn, he has a chance to increase damage rate reduction and guard rate up if you have 6 or fewer undefeated allies. So definitely a fantastic unit for all content. His skill 2 also boosts all allies critical suppression rate, so if you don't have Deidara, you can use his. He has a higher percentage one, and his traits boost all allies active allies damage reduction rate and allies critical suppression rate, and he has an obscene amount of recovery of his own HP. So those are probably the best URs, guys, that aren't the power creep URs. Now let's go to SRs. Boruto is a must, so definitely get Boruto up. He's going to be one of your best nukes for every content. Let's see here, Sai is the most important character nowadays for any event and any type of content. If you see here, his LB2 gives everybody chakra by 1800 chakra every turn, and he doesn't have to be active, it's just every turn, guys. So as you saw on the screen up top there, everybody there got up to second turn Jutsu. Now let's go down a little further. Haku here is another unit that's a must. He is pretty much essential for all FGs. I mean, the fact that he lowers defense and VIR for all tactical units is insane, and we've got a lot of T units that are always coming out, and his skill 2 boosts all active allies, all active attack allies attack rate by 21%, so super high. So definitely get Haku up and still focus on him. SRs are really good right now. Kakashi is another option for an AoE if you don't have somebody to do damage. He does incredible damage and he does a chance to burn as well. The opponents have to have target over 50% or up for him to do more damage though. And he also increases his own damage increase rate and has the ability to increase his own attack after an enemy has been defeated. So extremely good unit, guys. So Kakashi is still up there. Let's go to Shikamaru next. Now Shika is good because he boosts all tactical allies attack through his skill 2 and his trait. So very useful for FG and Abyss. And he also has the ability to do a Shadow Stitch, which is essentially a stun, and has the highest damage rate reduction at almost 60%, guys. So definitely a good unit to keep up there. Okay, let's go to R's. Kiba, hands down the best R. Instant Jitsu, the only other unit in the game, and does a lot of damage to tactical units. And his second skill also increases his own chakra. So if you're missing Sai, you can get him up. And then his Wild Fang increases all active allies attack and boosts damage increase rate as well too. So very good unit. I think I'm missing somebody here. Okay, let's go to the next units here. Toby, if you have him as an SR, he's one of the power creep units. Amazing unit. Does a stun, does a burn, and also lowers damage rate reduction for all defensive shinobi. So he's got the new percentages, so he does insanely well in terms of damage. He also lowers the target's damage rate reduction by 25% for the rest of the battle, and lowers damage reduction rate for all defense shinobis. So super good unit, guys, as an SR. Alright, actually, you know what? I think I'm missing somebody. Let's go back up here. Go back up. I think I'm missing one of the most important SRs. You could still focus on this SR and she will never let you down. So we're talking about Mama Sakura. So let me get to her. There we go. Now, she's still one of the best units out there. She still has the ability to 15% chance to stun. She lowers all enemies attack by 23%. Her skill 2 boosts all damage rate reduction rate by 17.92%. And her trait recovers all HP, boosts all allies attack, and also damage increase rate by 11.46%. So a fantastic support unit, probably still one of the best in the game. Alright guys, I think that pretty much covered everybody that you need to focus on. If you guys have any further questions, hit me up in the comment section. If not, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, these power creep guys like Sasori here, or Deidara, or Itachi have the high percentages up there for 1474. They're eventually going to take the game over, but until then, please focus on these other units and they'll do you justice in events. Alright guys, Payne, have a wonderful day.